Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Thank you so much for staying with us. We appreciate the love that we get, and we see y'all on MixLR, on Loud City, Shoutcast, LegacyInternetRadio.com. We see all the love we get, and we the flagship show of LegacyInternetRadio.com. Ain't no half step with Marcus J, coming to you live from the den. At this time, we like to go ahead and kind of take care of some housekeeping things, as we do every single week. We always profile a missing and or exploited child. This week, the child is Mariah Coleman. Mariah Coleman is a black female, age 13, who is missing from Forest Park, Georgia. She's 5'3", 165 pounds. I feel a special kinship to young Mariah Coleman because she was born on my 25th birthday, June 3rd, 1999. So please keep your eyes open for Mariah. She may be in the company of an adult female. They may travel to Atlanta. She is from Forest Park, Georgia. Once again, her birthday is June 3rd, 1999, which was my 25th birthday. So please keep your eyes open for her. She's an endangered runaway. I think we have learned from the events of what happened in Cleveland a couple of weeks ago that just because you're listed as a runaway does not mean that you're okay and you're out there of your own volition. You may very well be someone who has been taken against your will, which was the case with Gina Rivera, and as well as the other two young ladies that were taken in Cleveland. They were listed as endangered runaways, but we know that they were taken and not actually running away. So keep them in mind and keep your eyes open from them. If those folks in the Forest Park and Georgia areas, we know we got some listeners in Atlanta and Smyrna, College Park, Marietta. We definitely got some fans, some love down there. So if you see young Mariah Coleman, please contact the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at missingkids.com. Contact them by phone at 1-800-LOST, 1-800-843-5678. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J, live from the den of LegacyInternetRadio.com. Please keep your eyes open for Mariah, as well as any of the other children that we may have profiled on our show or you may have come across. And also want to talk at this time about our sponsor, the Doctor of Optometry, Dr. Euphemia Huggins Williams, ODPC. She is my eye doctor, y'all. She takes care of me. If you need eyeglasses, if you need to be checked out for glaucoma, for cataracts, astigmatisms, any issues that you may have with your eyes, she'll definitely make sure that she takes care of you. Contact her by phone at 1-800-327-1640. 804, my apologies, 804-327-1678, 804-327-1678. Contact her by dropping in on her personally at 7124 Forest Hill Avenue, Suite B in Richmond, Virginia, 23225. The Doctor of Optometry, Dr. Euphemia Huggins Williams, ODPC, takes all kinds of insurances. So I'm sure that if you contact her, she will definitely make sure that she will take care of whatever your eyeglasses needs are. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. So what I want to do now, I'm gonna start with you on this one, Fawn. I'm gonna keep throwing you on the spot, and I'm glad you're here because you lightening the mood. You got these ugly guys in here and you fine as hell, so you make it so that I'm not the only attractive person in the room, which is good.
I knew that garbage was coming.
Which is good for me because it's difficult for me when I'm doing a show and I don't have a pretty lady here. So this next story is a story from Africa, and on occasion we go across the water to the motherland, and I teased it earlier about resurrection. You ain't ready for this one. You ready for this one? You ain't ready. You ain't ready for this one. Basically, what this is you got a bunch of mourners who had a funeral in Zimbabwe, and they are caught by surprise by 34-year-old deceased Britton Dama Xanthi, the seemingly dead man who woke up last week during his funeral. You had, quote, I was the first to notice Mr. Xanthi's moving legs as I was in the queue to view his body. At first, I could not believe my eyes, but later realized that there was indeed some movements on the body as other mourners retreated in disbelief, one of the mourners said. Now, there have been situations that I have seen where people have been in the morgue and they were about to get their ass cut open for their autopsy, and they was waking up saying, yo, don't cut me, I'm alive. But I don't know that I've ever seen somebody get all the way to the funeral and their ass alive. So, Fawn, when you hear this, it's Zimbabwe. I know that in the Islamic faith, I know that there's a time frame before that you need to be buried and things of that sort. This article doesn't allude to what this guy's religion was, so I don't know how long he was down. I don't know if he had been pronounced dead by a certified medical person, but apparently he wasn't, because his ass was alive. So what's your thoughts?
I just don't believe everything I read. It's hard to believe. I don't know what to say on that.
But see, here's the thing, though, Fawn.
But it could be true. I mean, it could be. I just never seen anything like that.
But here's the thing. When I saw the story the first time, right, I didn't believe it. I was with you, right? And then I searched the internet, and I found the same story on 4 different websites. Okay. And this particular one is the Huntington Post, which is where I'm reading it from. And it's a Huntington Post is a website that I personally, and I can't speak for the rest of the crew, but I personally trust the Huntington Post. The first website that I saw it on, I was like, yeah, whatever. And I looked at a couple of more, and I was like, eh. And then I said, and again. But then when I saw it on the Huntington Post, I was like, okay, maybe so.
Well, I'm pretty sure they practice voodoo, roots and all that. Maybe that's mixed up with it.
Somebody put a root on the dude.
They're saying nobody ever died and came back. So
I know of at least one person who they say did. JR. I think you know who I'm alluding to there. JR, when you hear this, man, what you think, man?
Hey, look. They say old dude was dead for 21 hours clinically. According to the article, I had a chance to glance at, he had asthma attack, and they say he died. So, I mean, look, the only thing, I kind of chuckled when I saw this, and not because he was dead or anything, it's very serious. But I just remember the episode of Martin when the plumber supposedly died. And he was like, I'm fat. Sometimes it's hard to find my pulse. I don't know if this was a situation like that, but it was only 21 hours. I mean, for all we know, it doesn't say, but for all we know, he could have been in a coma or anything. So it's possible.
I'm gonna tell you like this: if I see that damn body moving, I'm gonna put something on there. He ain't gonna move. I don't want him to get up, because I'm gonna be like, look, you ain't supposed to get up. You supposed to be stay down. You down, you stay down. All right. Period. Yeah. You gonna wish you hadn't died.
So period. I take it they don't embalm in that culture.
That was the first thing that I thought about, JR. When I saw the story, I was wondering if they do embalm, but I thought that it was kind of odd that anybody that could be allegedly deceased long enough for them to get them from wherever they were pronounced to the casket to the point where there are mourners there. I thought that was weird as hell. And the fact that the guy kind of sat up, and the first thing I thought about was the Martin episode with the plumber. I thought it was funny as hell, yes. Because I'm like, how do you come back from the dead? I tease the story by saying resurrection, kind of, tongue in cheek, but the reality is, people thought he was dead. There were people who were at his funeral, and they were mourners. This is a 34-year-old guy. They're there, and it's always sad when someone passes away, but you somewhat expect it when they're old. You don't expect somebody 34 to die. I'm a few years beyond 34, and we got people who are listening to us who are south of 34. Just think of that guy that that's 34 who dies, and you're like, damn, Craig is dead. I can't believe I was just with him. And you go to Craig's funeral, and Craig sits up like, yo, how y'all feel?
Craig will get knocked up.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't get up. I'm telling you, I'm swinging.
Be like, what y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, what y'all doing tonight?
It's a little something to note, and I remember as a kid, my mom telling me all the time that people used to sit up in funerals all the time. And so it's not something that's uncommon. We just don't hear about it because I guess here in America we embalm. We make sure you ain't got no.
Remind me to
organs,
never
you ain't
have a
jumping
conversation
up.
with your mama about dead people because your
Yeah,
mama
for real.
just freaked me out and she ain't even here.
Hey, look, man. My mom. You think
Did she
my mom
say
was
that
bad?
she
My
didn't believe
grandmother-
people?
It's a common occurrence for her. Happened last week. You ain't know, better ask somebody.
You know what I'm
Sister
saying?
Mary Jo Johnson.
Like Wanda on Good Times, just going to funeral. Because you know Wanda done seen it. You know, the crying lady on Good Times, she
Yeah,
just seeing
exactly.
people, you know, going to funerals. How many times you think she been the one where somebody just sat up like, hey, Wanda, how you doing, girl? You know what I'm saying? That's just crazy. And you know how Steppin with Marcus. Yeah, I'm going to come to Carlton Banks on this next story first. Because we know that he's a twin. This is a story about sisters separated as infants who are reunited at a high school track meet. You got Jordan Dickerson and Robin Jeter, again, who were separated as infants, but reunited. Dickerson's the junior at Woodrow Wilson High School, and Jeter a senior at Friendship Collegiate Academy Public Charter School, attend school about 10 miles apart in D.C. where they play the same sports, but they never actually crossed paths. Now, on January 9th, they attended the same track meet. And Dickerson, you know, she told the local news station that her teammates told her there was another girl that looked just like her. And she said, quote, I had already known about my adoption, and I knew my sister, I knew my last name was Jeter, she said. But when she learned Robin's last name, she just started crying. And they talked on the phone the night they met, discovering they were born just 9 months apart. Jeter first lived with her biological mother, then moved to foster care, and then to a legal guardian. The sisters decided to look for more siblings, finding 4 so far, according to the local station. Wow. Dickerson and Jeter have become close, spending weekends together and frequently talking on the phone. Carlton, once again, you know, in the interest of full disclosure, we know that you are indeed a twin. What is your thought? I mean, I don't even have a real question. Why don't you just start talking, man?
Man, I'm gonna tell you like this. The first thing that comes to my mind is Chris and Cliff Paul, how 2 twins are separated. You know, they both destined to assist. That's the first thing that came to my mind. You know, this is a true love story. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't think of it, man, female. If anybody in this earth I do love, it's going to be my twin brother. All right, I don't care what happens, what he does, how he does it, when he does it. I'm going to love my twin brother. It's somebody that I grew up with in more ways than one. When you say you have a sibling, yeah, you have a sibling. But when you share a room, let me restate that. When you share a womb with somebody, you've been there for somebody by yourself for 9 months. You stay with somebody for 9 months by yourself, not really knowing that they're there, but at the same time, you can punch in the jaw and you kicking them in the ribs or something. You know, that kind of intimacy is not found on any other level. You're in a confined environment and you're really sharing a connection that once you are born sticks with you. I mean, there's a communication that twins have that nobody else have. I mean, nobody else can have, except unless you are a member of a multiple birth. That is, it's a beautiful feeling to be a twin. It's great to be a twin. You better not ever tell me I can't share, because I've been doing it before I could even think about sharing. But to find out I'm a twin after so many years down the road, dude, I'd have bust out balling. Yeah, I really would have. I'd have cried, because it's a simple fact I missed something in my life, and when I do, whichever one of us goes first, I know it's going to hurt the other one. He is pop locking back here. I mean, really. Anyway, you can't say that the love for a brother or a sister is the same as a love for a twin, because again, you spent more time with that person than you did with anybody else.
JR, we know that you have an older brother, but you don't have a twin. I also have an older brother. We know that Big Rube has an older brother and a younger brother. So kind of piggybacking on what Carlton said, you know, having a sibling is one thing, but having a twin is certainly different. When you hear the story, what's your thoughts?
Man, I couldn't imagine finding out that I had a sibling, let alone somebody that looked just like me. If they're
I don't want
identical.
nobody else looking just like you, man.
Oh man, we would wreck shop. Switch it, play. Hey, Carl, y'all ever switch places? Can y'all do that?
They can't.
We can't.
They can't.
But we had teachers dumb enough to believe
because
that we were
because
identical.
his brother is a handsome guy, and Carlton is Carlton.
You know what? We're fraternal twins. We're not identical, but still, we had teachers who were dumb enough to say, "Don't trick us," and I'm like, really? We don't even look alike. I mean, you can tell we're brothers, yeah.
Big rule.
No, nothing beyond
Big
that.
rule. Basically, you had twin girls who are in this DC that grew up 10 miles apart from each other, who were separated at birth, who met each other at a track meet. They're twins. When you hear a story like this, you have an older brother, you have a younger brother. Similar to my dynamic, I have an older brother and a younger sister. Carlton Banks, of course, we know is a twin who can't imagine how his life would have turned out had he not grown up with his twin from the womb to now, almost 50 in 9 years. So what's your thoughts on that?
You just called me 50. I mean, that's, first of all, it's incredible that
Took a shot at Carlton.
I mean,
Sorry, go ahead, Big Rope.
I think it's incredible that they finally found each other, because I did read the article. I can only, there are a lot of siblings, just, brothers and sisters or whatever, who find each other for years, who don't know, I can honestly say I'm blessed to know that I know where both my brothers came from, even though, if you want to get technical, my older brother is a half brother, and my younger brother, of course, we had the same father. So, I mean, that's cool, but I can only imagine for some people who have those half siblings out there, and one day they come to your door, yo, I'm your sibling, because back in the day, your dad did some dirt, and he hid y'all from me. I can only think that it would be the same type of feeling. I mean, I can honestly say I have no idea how the twin thing works, and depending on who it is, it's probably either a good thing or a bad thing. But I think it's cool that they finally found each other. I think it's messed up that parents keep kids away from each other. I mean, because let's just be honest, man. Unless you physically don't know, and then if somebody know, and it's usually the mother, obviously. The mother, unless you have different mothers and your father doing dirt, somebody knows that they have different, they got to put your kids out there. So I just think it's kind of messed up that they come from, but I'm glad they found each other.
What's crazy, when I think about myself, I think about the fact that I'm the middle child. I'm Jan. I've got an older brother who I looked at as if he was a superhero, and I still look up to my big brother. I spent the weekend with my big brother. I love my big brother. When I see him, I'm like, yo, I'm excited to be with my big brother. Peace, Chuck. What up, bro? And so the thought of, and he's 6 years older than me, so the thought of him not being there with me from, my earliest memories to now, nearly 40, I'm like, yo, I couldn't even imagine. And then my baby sister, who I love almost as much as I love myself, because I remember literally, she's 5 years younger than me. So I remember the day she was born. Like, I literally remember being at grandma's house, and he's like, yeah, the baby's coming. And like, I went to sleep and I woke up, and then like, I was at the hospital and I'm looking at the baby. You know what I mean? So I can't imagine what it would be like to not have my siblings with me from the earliest possible moment. So Fawn, when you think about that, I don't know your family dynamic. I don't know. S.Y. Butler's actually saying that it's wonderful. She's excited and happy for them. And I think we all are. I don't know your family dynamic, so feel free to share with us if you have siblings. If you do, you don't. But what's your thoughts on the story?
Well, I think it's beautiful, and I come from a large family. My mother and father had 14. I'm the 14th one. But my older brothers and sisters, they were a lot older than me. So I actually was under my three brothers. By me being the youngest, I became tomboyish. That I miss having a sister. And I used to wish I was a twin. But I don't know what I would have done if I wouldn't have seen or spent time with my siblings. Even though we're not twins, but just the thought of not knowing them, you know, and then years later meeting them, we missed out on a whole lot, you know. So you think about all of that, but you enjoy it now. They found each other. Nothing is going to separate them again. Nothing.
I agree.
You know, so, but,
That's
and like I said, I always wish I had a twin. So it could be two of us walking the earth.
Yeah, that was cool. I know several sets of twins, and respectfully, none of them actually played the game. At least they haven't played in adulthood. I didn't know twins as kids, but I've met twins as an adult. But I think it would be cool. But I tell you, I couldn't imagine living how I grew up without my big brother Chuck and my little sister Net, so I love them. So just want to take this moment to kind of throw that out there. Ain't no hashtag with Marcus J. Live from the Den, y'all. LegacyInternetRadio.com, the flagship show here on Legacy Internet Radio. You can catch us on MixLR. We appreciate the love that we are getting. Dating Pool Diva is agreeing with us. It's a wonderful story to hear. You can get us on Loud City. You can get us on your mobile phone. Check us out on Winamp. If you about to leave, you about to go somewhere, and you like, damn, I got to cut the computer off, and you ain't got to lose us. Pull up Winamp on your cell phone, go to Shoutcast, and then type in Legacy Internet Radio. You got us. Save it as a favorite, and you got us forever. Any programming that we have on Legacy Internet Radio, whether it be the flagship show of Ain't No Half Step or Marcus J live here on Mondays from 7 to 9, and Live in Radio with Steven Sykes on Tuesday from 7 to 9, or the Green Room version 2.0 with Jay Grizzy and Lissa P on Wednesdays from 7 to 9. Or if you want to hear the music only show, did they just play that on Thursday and Saturday nights, 7 to 9 on Thursdays, and Saturday evening, depending on when we actually get to it. Same music show. You can get any programming of of LegacyInternetRadio.com. Live on your cell phone. So appreciate the love we get. Call us up, be down with us if you want to be on the live line with us at 804-402-2893. I'm coming to Big Rube on this one first because I'm hoping this story invokes the phrase that we all love, Carlton Banks. I'm gonna punch you in the eye if you say it. Okay. But we hope that this story invokes Big Rube to say his signature phrase. Michael Maxwell is a suspected robber who got that ass beat because he tried to break in somebody's house, and they beat the hell out this dude. 19 years old in Palm Bay, Florida. He had his robbery attempt interrupted when he broke in somebody's house last week. Home invasion. He had a firearm and all that kind of stuff. And he had a 17-year-old companion whose name hasn't been released. But and there's pictures. If you go on my Facebook page, if you know me personally, go on there. You'll find it. Otherwise, just do a quick random Michael Maxwell search on your computer or your cell phone, and you'll see his beaten and battered face. His eye he got the biggie eye. Like one of them is sleepy. And I'm clowning, but the reality is he tried to break in these people's house, Big Rube, and he beat the hell out this dude. Have Steppin with Marcus J. So what is your thoughts on this? I know you know the story, and if you don't know the story, I'm showing the picture right now. I'm showing the picture right now to the crew. If you look at his face, this is what happened this is the cautionary tale. What happens to you when you try to break in somebody's house? You end up looking like you fought Mike Tyson in circa 1987. So Big Rube, what is your thoughts when you think of Michael Maxwell getting that ass beat?
Yo,
please say the phrase.
That top lip is beat.
It's the top lip and the top lip in the right eye.
Yo, that joint is crazy. His top lip is bigger than both.
Can you say the phrase?
What are you talking about, natural selection?
There you go.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's a true definition of natural selection. You know what? It's one thing you break to a dude's house. It's one thing if you get in a fight with dude. Don't lose. I mean, really? You broke into this dude's house. You need to be expecting everything and the government plus some cops. You don't go into somebody's house and get beat down. That's just like going to your own birthday party and people saying happy birthday to somebody else. Are you kidding me? I mean, I understand do the crime, do the time, but damn, I mean, really? You can't be doing the crime, doing the time, and get your ass beat. You can't have all three. And that's really the messed up part about it because, it's one thing to break to the house and you get caught, But damn, yo, he got the whoop. He got the ass beating of his life.
He had the smackdown laid upon him.
Yo, I mean, that lip is the greatest thing ever.
I mean, for those folks who don't understand what Big Rube is saying, if you go and you search Michael Maxwell,
page,
just Google this dude, and you see how swollen his top lip is. SY is, LOL dumbass, which we all agree he's worse than a dumbass. He's worse than a dumbass. Carl Banks. What's your thoughts, man? Somebody came here, and we did a story a couple of months ago when LL Cool J had an intruder break into his house, and he beat dude up so bad, he waited for the police. Carl Banks, when you hear the story, what's your thoughts, bro?
One of our buddies got their house broken into, double O, and we kind of like wish we had. This was a while back though, but we kind of wish that we had walked in when it happened, because we'd have given the guy an option. Because of the 7 of us that hung out at the time, one of us was really into MMA kind of stuff, and he's the smallest one of us, and we'd have been like, you know what? We're going to give you an option, dude. Here's your option. And he would have picked that little guy. That little guy would have killed him straight up. I mean, that's the kind of beating we'd have enjoyed watching him get from somebody you think is smaller than you, but you come into the wrong spot, and that's it. That's sad. That's all I got to say.
JR, what's your thoughts, man?
Yo, somewhere, somebody, and I know right now in particular is me, saying, let me tell you what happened to Red Ass. Because he looked like he caught a Debo uppercut.
Yeah, Ray ain't look too good right now.
Hey, look, you break into somebody's house, you deserve what you get. You might, it puts me in the mind of the Dave Chappelle skit too, where the dude knew was like a 8th degree black belt or something.
When keeping it real goes wrong.
Pick a fight with somebody you shouldn't. You walked in the wrong person's house and caught a beat down. Good enough for you. And I'm gonna look at that again when I go home, because I need an extra laugh.
But real, man, if you're gonna, I'm not saying you should break into people's houses, but if you're gonna do something that stupid, at least bring a bat or something.
Tiger uppercut.
I mean, really, he hit that
toe out the front. Data Pool Diva says she agrees with us. She don't feel for him at all. He will probably think twice about doing it again unless he's a crackhead. Unless he's a crackhead. But the thing is, he probably gonna be in jail for a little while. So I don't know how. Looking forward to him.
Drop the charges.
Yeah, looking forward again. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J live from the Dan Legacy Internet Radio. We're gonna take a break, and when we come back, gonna take a serious turn. The final segment of What the Hell. We got a couple of stories that kind of will make you think a little bit. So we appreciate you hanging in there with us. Marcus J live from the Den. We got Big Rube, JR, Miss Fawn, and Carlton Banks. We got the folks on MixLR, Legacy Internet Radio, as well as Loud City and Shoutcast. Stay with us. We'll be back in a minute.